Aggies, my name is Molly and I'm a group fitness instructor at the Aggie Rec Center, and I also teach some classes as an adjunct instructor in the Sports and Exercise Science Department. Today I'm going to be walking you through a 30-minute total body conditioning workout. All that you'll need is a chair with a sturdy back, and I'm going to be using a water bottle for some extra resistance for a couple of workouts. Weight is optional. You could also use a full water bottle. You could use maybe a canned good you have in your pantry. If you have a dumbbell at home, that could work, or you could use no weight at all. I'll be giving you options for all of the exercises. And before we start, it is my strong recommendation that you consult with your physician before beginning any exercise program. Understand that there is the possibility of physical injury in this or any other fitness program. And by continuing this workout, you are agreeing that you do so at your own risk and that you're voluntarily participating in these exercises and that you yourself assume all risk of injury. Okay, so let's get started. All right. So for our first exercise, we're going to be facing the chair, and you're going to plant your right foot and have your left foot behind you, all 10 toes facing forward. Now lift your left fingertips out to the left. So from the front it'll look like this. Squeeze your belly button in and up, stand up nice and tall, and then you're going to lift that foot up behind you. So all 10 toes continue to face forward. You're standing up nice and tall. And if you wanted a little bit extra challenge, you could do this without the chair. Good. So you're just going to hold it here, keeping that spine nice and long, reaching through those fingertips and lifting that heel behind you, and relax. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So now your right foot is behind you, your left knee is softly bent. All 10 toes face the same direction. Reach up through the crown of your head, belly button in and up. Reach your left fingertips long, lift the foot behind you. Pick a spot to focus on in front of you that isn't moving, and that'll help you stay stable. Again, this is what it'll look like from the front, and you can also choose to not use the assistance of the chair. And if this is too much, your toes can rest down behind you. Just make sure all the weight stays on that front foot. And if you wobble or come out of it, that's fine. Just regain your composure and join us when you're ready. Reach long through that back heel and those fingertips out to the side. Long spine. And relax. Now you're going to take your heels right underneath your hips. All 10 toes face the same direction. Hands are resting on the back of the chair, standing up nice and tall, soft bend in the knees. Now I just want you to lift up onto your toes and lower your heels back down. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Now you're going to get more work out of this if you take it slowly and exaggerate the movement up and really resist lowering down, as if someone were trying to pull your heels down and you want to keep them up. That's going to get even more work into the muscles in the backs of the legs. And again, if you wanted more, you could move away from the chair and continue to just lift and lower the heels. And to make it really tricky, you could look up. Let's do one more. And relax. Now plant your heels down and keep your booty really nice and steady. Soft bend in the knees, and then you're gonna lift your toes straight up like they're gonna come back towards your shins and drop them back down. Lift and lower. Try and lift even the balls of your feet up off the ground. So the trick here is that we're engaging the muscles in the front of the legs to lift those toes up and pull them back, rather than rocking back and forward through our hips. So it's a small movement, but it's a really engaged movement. And this will knock your balance off a little bit as well. Just keep your core nice and tight. Stand up tall. Last one, relax. All right, now you can move the chair out of the way. And you're going to take your feet a little bit wider than hip distance. Toes point out naturally, whatever feels good for your knees and hips. Stand up nice and tall. And then you're going to bend into your knees a little bit, and your hips are going to go back behind you slightly. So both knees are bent here, and then you're going to shift your weight over towards, this will be your left, straighten through your right knee, and then press your hips straight back behind you. And then shift all your weight over to the right side. So now your your left knee straightens, right knee stays bent. And then just take it from side to side, focusing on what you're doing. Good. So you'll feel this into the muscles of the legs, and you'll also start to feel a nice stretch through the inner thighs. Now keep your chest up, but take your eye gaze down and make sure your knees are staying stacked over the ankles and pointing over your middle toes. So we're going to keep doing this with the lower body, and we're going to add some work into the core and the upper body. So as you shift over to the right, left fingertips come forward, right fingertips go back, and then try and think about both collarbones turning and facing that right wall. Come back through the middle, all 10 fingertips facing forward, and then left fingertips go back as you shift over to the other side. Collarbones face the left wall. Good. And then you twist. Nice and slow. Continue to push those hips back. Belly button squeezes in and up. See if you can take that back hand behind you a little bit more, really opening up through your wingspan. You might even feel a nice stretch across your chest and the fronts of your shoulders. That's an added bonus. One more each direction. Last one. Inhale, reach your hands overhead. Exhale, relax your hands back down. All right, now would be a perfect time to grab a weight if you would like it. If not, you're just going to touch your fingertips when I transfer the weight, and you'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. So your feet are a little bit wider than your hips. Again, toes point out naturally, whatever feels good for your hips and your knees. Now the key in this exercise is to keep your chest up as tall as you can. So you're going to want to arch forward to try and pass the weight underneath your legs. But you're going to get a lot more work into the muscles of the torso, and you're going to get more work into the legs if you keep your chest up nice and tall. So again, keep that chest up nice and tall, and then you're going to draw the number 8 underneath your legs with that weight. So you're letting your weight shift naturally, keeping your chest up nice and tall, and you'll feel the extension through the sides of your waist. Good. Make sure your toes are light, weight is more in your heels, and you're continuing to breathe. Knees are pointed out over those middle toes. That protects our knee joints. All right, now see if you can put some brain work to it and reverse that figure 8. Good. Keep breathing. Now again, if you chose to go without a weight, then you can just try and touch your fingertips underneath each time. If you have a heavier weight than a bottle of water, you'll really start to feel this, and you might even get some work into your shoulders. One more each direction. Stand up nice and tall. Set your weight or whatever you use to the side. Your feet are in that same wide position, and then you're just going to take a little bend into your knees so you have a really steady stance. Your elbows are going to come out wide in line with your shoulders. Your fingertips are spread wide and your shoulders are relaxed away from your ears. Chest is open wide, hips are tucked forward slightly, just so that your head, your heart, your hips, and your heels are in a vertical line. Good. Now keeping the shoulders open and the elbows spread wide, I want you to take one side of your waist as long as you can up and over until one elbow comes towards the middle of the thigh and then all the way up and over to the other side. And we'll just continue like that. And this exercise, I like to exhale, 2, 3, exhale, 2, 3. Now as you're going up and over from side to side, think about keeping that alignment, head over heart, heart over hips. So your torso is really nice and long, you've got great integrity of your spine, and you're really taking the work into the sides of the waist to your oblique muscles. Shoulders stay relaxed away from the ears. Belly button squeezes in and up. This is a great move for the total core. Especially if you've been sitting working on homework all day, this will really open up. One more each direction and relax. All right, now you'll bring your chair back towards you. I'll do this to the side so you can see me a little bit better. You're going to take your feet about hip distance apart and stand in front of that chair. And now, easy enough, you're just going to have a seat. And now you can either use your hands on the side of the chair right about underneath your hips to help you get back up, and then take a seat down. So we're just standing and having a seat. And stand and have a seat. Now exhale as you stand up and inhale as you sit down. To make this more difficult, you can take your biceps by your ears. So you're getting no help from the upper body, and anytime the hands are above the heart, it increases the heart rate. Now to make this really difficult, you could almost touch the chair and then come back up to standing. And almost touch and come back up to standing. Good. Now whichever option you chose, let's do 2 more. Last one. Good. Now everyone have a seat. And move your booty forward on the chair. Take your hands behind your hips. They should be a little bit further than underneath your shoulders. And I like to take my fingertips out to the sides of the chair. But if you have the wrist flexibility, you could also take your fingertips straight behind you, away from your body. So your options here are to either press down into the heels of your hands, squeeze the shoulder blades together behind you, and lift your hips off the chair up towards the sky. Or you could keep your booty down on the chair, continue to push the chair away from you both with the backs of your hips and with your chest. And if you want that option, then you're going to try and focus on keeping the weight in your hands and bend your elbows straight back, and then use the strength of your arms to press you forward. So imagine that your torso is just dead weight. You're taking all the work into your arms for tricep dips. If you chose to lift your hips up and away, you're going to really feel it into the backs of the upper arms. And to make this even more difficult, you can lift your toes, straighten your knees, and extend your legs in front of you. Keep that chest open in the front. Keep those shoulders squeezing together in the back, and your hips lifting up away from the chair. Let's do 3, 2, 1. Now if you took your booty away, bring it back onto the chair to relax. For the next one, I want you to take your palms up, elbows out wide. Fingertips spread wide. Sitting up nice and tall, belly button squeezes in and up. We're always looking for that engagement of the core. Good. Now as you exhale, I want you to bring your pinky fingers to touch in front of you. Keep about a 45-degree bend in those elbows, and then open back up to the sides. And bring those pinky fingers together and open. Good. Now take your awareness to the muscles around your collarbones, those chest muscles. Think about them squeezing together to bring the pinkies towards each other. And think about your chest opening up wide to take your thumbs and pinkies away from each other. So it's squeeze and open. Squeeze and open. Good. And if you had two weights here, you could take them into your hands to get some extra work. I find that if I really focus on the resistance, there's no need for weights at all. Keep breathing. Core nice and tight. Now take those palms up, elbows wide, tops of the shoulders relaxed away from the ears. Now keep the exact same bend in your elbows as you draw circles with your entire arm to the front. Good. Now to make this more difficult, extend your elbows a little bit more. Take your fingertips further away. So we're drawing circles to the front first. And if you need a little bit less, bring the upper arms a little bit closer, bend the elbows a little bit more. Good. So this is great not only for building strength, but also the mobility of the shoulders. And you'll feel the range of the motion that feels best for your shoulders. If anything is uncomfortable, adjust it as your body is telling you to. So let's take those circles to the back. Remember, your entire arm is drawing that circle. From the shoulder joints all the way out through the fingertips. Let's do 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands down by your sides and shake it out. Good. So for the next exercise, we're going to take our palms in line with our shoulders, right out in front of us. Keep a soft bend in the elbows. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Squeeze that belly button in and up. Press your sitting bones down into the chair and then reach up through the crown of your head. Your palms are facing towards the ceiling, and you want to keep the upper arm in line with the shoulder. And then you're just going to take one set of fingertips and touch the top of your shoulder and switch. Good. Now think about, as the fingertips come to the tops of the shoulder, you're pinching a penny right in that elbow crease. So you're really creating the resistance, and you're focusing really hard on keeping the height of the arms the same. Good. So with that being said, if you want a little bit less, bring the hands down a little bit. Now we're going to start to take it out into a diagonal and back in to that narrow width, and out to the diagonal and back in, keeping the arms at the same level, out and in and out. Hold it here on the diagonal for 3, 2, 1. Relax. All right, this next one isn't going to look very difficult, but if you do it with me, it's going to be a real kicker. Stand or sit up nice and tall. Take your palms, they're facing each other, your biceps are by your ears, so your hands are overhead and then your shoulders relax away from your ears, and you have a soft bend in your elbows. Now with your fingertips, spread all 10 fingers as wide as they'll go, so your palms are super open. And then make tight fists as tight as you can. And open and close. Open and close. Open wider, close tighter. Open, close, open, close. Let's go a little faster. Open, close, open, close. Open as wide, close as tight, if not wider and tighter. Let's go a little faster. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. A little faster. Can you go a little faster? Squeeze, open, squeeze, open, squeeze, open. As fast as you can go. And then start to slow it down again. Open, close, open, close. Open wide, close tight. Open wide, close tight. Open wide, close tight. Open wide. Hold it, close tight. Hold it, relax. Told you, harder than it looks. All right, so we're gonna take that through again, making a few variations, and then we'll stretch out a little bit and then we'll be done. So back to that first exercise we did. You're gonna plant your left foot, take your right foot back behind you, and then your left fingertips stretch out to the side. Hips and shoulders square to the back of the chair. Lift away, belly button squeezes in and up. Good. Now I want you to take those left fingertips and reach them up, so bicep is by the ear. Good. Remember, all 10 toes facing the same direction. Inhale, reach a little longer, and you can just hold it here, or if you want a little bit more, take that left elbow, bring it down as the right knee bends and comes forward, and you try to touch elbow to knee and reach long. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, reach long. 2 more. Remember, if this isn't the option for you, you're just holding it. This is our last one. Reach long, relax. We'll go to the other side. So again, you can be facing your chair for extra stability. You can just hold whatever level works for you. I'll face forward so you can see me a little bit better. Now your right fingertips reach up long, and your left foot is back behind you, right knee softly bent. Lift that back heel up, all 10 toes face forward. Reach a little longer on the inhale. Exhale, elbow comes towards the knee. Good. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, elbow to knee. Now again, to keep your balance, keep your eye gaze on something that isn't moving. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, elbow to knee. Squeeze that core nice and tight. Inhale, reach long. Elbow to knee. 1 more. Reach long. Elbow to knee. And relax. Good. All right. I'll bring the chair back so you can see all of your options. You're going to take your right foot down, and then you're going to lift your left foot up. Now, if this isn't a good option for you, set your left toes back on the ground and try and keep your weight in your right foot. So what you're going to do is take that right heel up, set it down, plant it, lift the right toes, keeping a soft bend in the knee. So it's heel lift, down, toes lift, down. Heel lift, down, toes lift, down. Good. So remember, your left foot can be completely lifted off for an extra challenge, or your left toes can be placed down on the ground for some more stability. Good. It's heel lift, set it down, toes, set down. Last one, heels and toes. Good. So then that foot that was relaxing is now going to plant down, soft bend in that same knee. Opposite toes are either rested down on the ground or lifted up away. Heel lifts, plants down, toes lift, plant down. Heel lifts, plant down, toes lift, plant down. Good. Keep that core nice and tight, stand up nice and tall. Avoid that booty rocking back and forth. Lift, lower toes lift, lower heels lift, lower toes lift, lower. Good. Keep breathing. Last one. Up, down, and up, down. All right. Get behind that chair so you have some room. Take your feet a little wider than the hips. Toes point out naturally. And we're going to take that side lunge. Bending into the left, straightening through the right. Shoulders and hips stay in line. Take your hands up on the left diagonal. Switch over. Hands down on the right diagonal. Bend into the right knee. Draw that diagonal down. Lift up, lower down. Lift up, lower down. Hips press back behind you slightly. Knees are stacked over the ankle when they're bent and pointing over the middle toes. Now come over to the right, hands are down. Take your hands up on the diagonal and switch. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Good. Let's do 3 more. 2. Last one. Stand up right in the middle. Heel toe your feet closer together. We're going to use that chair again. So we're going to combine 2 moves we did last time. Remember all of your options here. We're going to do that sit to stand and that chest fly. So heels about hip width apart, feet planted on the ground. So I'll start with level 1. You're going to take your arms out to the sides, squeeze the chest together as the pinkies come in front, open back up, and then if you're with me for level 1, hands come behind your hips, you press up, 1 more fly. Sit down, fly, stand up, fly. Good, level 2, have a seat, fly, stand up, fly. Have a seat, fly, stand up, fly. Level 3, almost have a seat, hold it, fly, stand up, fly. Almost have a seat, fly, stand up. If you're choosing level 3, keep that chest up nice and tall. Good. I'll go back to level 2 with you. Have a seat. Now stay standing or come to standing if you weren't already there. Go behind your chair. Lift your right foot straight up, soft bend in your left knee, stand up nice and tall. Now either just your left arm or both arms come out to that wide position and circle to the front. If you need one hand down on the chair, that's absolutely fine. If you need to bring your toes a little closer to the ground for more stability, absolutely fine. Choose what works for you. Just remember which foot is lifted and which arm is moving. Stand up nice and tall. Keep breathing. Good. And then just switch to the other side. So now your left foot lifts away, right hand out long, and circle to the back. Remember your options. You can take both hands out. Again, if you want to challenge your balance even more, you take your eye gaze up. Hang in there for 3, 2, 1, relax. fingertips up overhead. Relax the shoulders down, palms face each other. Squeeze as tight as you can. Release as slowly and as wide as you can. Squeeze. Release. Now bring your arms a little closer to the ears. Relax your shoulders a little bit more. If you want a little bit more here, take your right foot out in front of you. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. We're going to start moving a little faster. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. It's in, out, in, out. If you took the balance, switch your feet. In, out, out. Pull those thumbs back behind you a little bit. Faster. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Both feet down. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Squeeze a little tighter. Pull those thumbs back. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Reach up towards the sky. Relax your hands down by your sides. All right, great job, you guys. Let's stretch out, and then you'll be finished. Have a seat on your chair. Take your left foot out in front of you. Put that heel down. Toes come back towards your shin. Hands on the right thigh. Reach your spine long, and then start to fold forward from the hips as far as feels good. Now in this position, turn your extended foot out and in and out. You want a soft bend in your knee here. Only go as far as feels good for your knee and your hip. Good, bring that foot back in, switch to the other side. Your palms are on top of the bent leg. And then you just hinge forward from the hips with a long spine. And start to turn that foot outside and inside with a soft bend in the knee. Good, stand up nice and tall. Sit up nice and tall. Interlace your fingers in front of you. Flip your palms forward and then press those palms away as you round through your back slightly, feeling the belly button come in and up. Soft bend in the elbows, and then think about widening your shoulder blades away from each other in the back. And if it feels good, you can take your chin towards your chest. That should feel like a really nice release for the upper back, especially between the shoulder blades. Now keep those fingers interlaced. Start to bring your chest back up. Take the palms overhead. Relax the shoulders down. Now press evenly through the back side of both hips. Reach your palms towards the ceiling and then stretch up and over towards your left. Pull the pinkies behind you a little bit to stay really open through the rib cage on that right side. Inhale up to the top. Exhale up and over to the other side. Pull the pinkies behind you a little bit. Relax the shoulders down. Release any tension through your jaw, through your neck. Inhale, one last reach up. Release the fingers. Roll through your wrists on the way down. Good. And then you're going to interlace your fingers at the base of your spine. Press your palms towards each other. Squeeze the shoulder blades together so you open up across the collarbones, and then press the knuckles away any amount that feels good. So you might have needed to scoot forward on your chair a little bit to make room for those arms extended behind you. Do whatever's comfortable. Release your hands. And now I want you to take your heels about hip distance apart. And as you inhale, bring your chin towards your chest and drop your belly button towards your thighs, however far feels good. And then exhale, round through your spine and come all the way up to seated. And then inhale, open up the collarbones wide in front of you first. Lay all the way down over your thighs. Chin to chest. Exhale, roll up nice and slow. Inhale, widen across the collarbones. Lay on down. Chin to chest, exhale, round up nice and slow. And then stay seated up nice and slow. Bring those shoulders towards your ears. Press them away. Bring them up. Press away. One last, bring it up. Press away. Reach your fingertips along towards the ground. And then take your right ear towards your right shoulder, nice and slow. However far it feels like a stretch, you want to avoid anything that feels like a strain. Up and over to the other side. Side to side. One last to the right. To the left. Bring your chin in the middle. Shake your head, yes. Look up. Take your chin down. Really slow, nodding yes. Stretch through the front of the neck. Stretch through the back of the neck as the chin comes towards the chest. Look up. Slowly look down. Look forward. Biggest inhale you take all day through your nose as the fingertips come up, reach overhead. Feel your belly expand with air. Hold it at the top for just a moment. Exhale, relax your hands back down, nice and slow. Feel all of the air leave your midsection. Close your eyes if it feels good. And give yourselves a hand. Great job, guys. Thanks for joining me.